Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the Rangers Reviews post-match briefing after Rangers 0, Liverpool 2 in the Champions League. The scoreline probably doesn't tell the full story of that game. Rangers had Alan McGregor to thank for kind of keeping the score down. He made a number of stops throughout the game with Rangers kind of under pressure. And in a way, it's a difficult game to evaluate just afterwards. You sense kind of on social media that there's a fair amount of frustration at that result, maybe in the way that Rangers applied themselves, maybe in the lack of chances that they were able to generate, the number of chances that Liverpool were able to generate in spite of their quality. Obviously, you've got to consider the other side of the coin, which is that, you know, you look at Liverpool's front four today with Diogo Jota, Nunez, Diaz and Salah. There's a lot of goals in there. There's so much quality. That's one of the best attacking front fours you'll get in world football. So you've got to consider that as well. I think some frustration at Malik Tillman maybe play at what some people would perceive to be out of position. I'll come to that because I've just spoken to Giovanni Van Bronckhorst about that. Maybe certain aspects of the selection that seems a bit inconsistent, and obviously these type of things do come up once there's been a defeat. So all in all, I guess elements of it hard to judge. Do let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Rangers could have halved the deficit, 5-10 minutes before the end. Rabi Matondo went down the line nicely after Glenn Kamara had come on and made quite a good impact. I actually thought a few of the subs, Matondo, Kamara, and even to a degree Sakala, made a bit of a better impact than some of the players that had started, which I guess is a bit of a talking point. Matondo, as I say, went close when he put the ball across the face of goal. It was cleared over the top by Liverpool. Cholak had a chance at the back post, but also one at the edge of the box that he should have put away a little bit quicker, taking the shot. But in comparison to that, Liverpool just had so many opportunities, so many moments. They were so intense, so aggressive. It was so hard for Rangers to get out. Again, the other side of that is that Rangers probably didn't give the best account of themselves, an account of themselves that they would have wanted. Alan Kelly getting in touch, and this probably sums it up. Rangers can play a lot better, and that's true. I think it'll be different. Ibrox aspects of the performance, I think, that weren't great for Rangers was particularly something we spoke about a lot before the game. How are they going to keep the ball? Were they going to look after it? And it's so difficult being here and seeing the intensity with which Liverpool press. A player like Matip, who you maybe don't think of his physicality and his strength because of his height, he looks a bit lanky. He was so strong, and Alfredo Morelos, you're so used to seeing just bully defenders off the ball, kind of dwarfed in comparison to Matip and Van Dijk. I think in the middle of the pitch, Rangers were overloaded quite often. Lundstram and Davies, don't think either of them had great games. As I say, I thought Kamara, when he came on, he looks a bit better. Hindsight is a wonderful thing in that degree. We'll get through some more of these comments just now. As you can see, the weather is not the kindest, and I'm just hoping my laptop doesn't get too soaked, so forgive me if this is a little bit shorter. Stuart says, Lundstram and Davies well off it tonight. The keeper and the three centre-backs were our best players. Yeah, I actually thought that Leon King, up until that penalty kick, and it's hard when you're defending Diaz 1v1 constantly. I thought he was really good, to be honest, particularly given his age, the fact that he's not played much football. Ben Davies as well, and Connor Goldson. I don't think they had the best amount of protection from the shape that Rangers played with. So I agree with you there, Stuart. I thought they were probably some of the best performers. Dylan says, Alan McGregor saved us from a cricket score. Mind-blowing that we're still relying on a 40-year-old goalkeeper to pull off wonder saves. Obviously, that's a bit of a deeper conversation about the goalkeeping area and the issues that have been there in recent weeks. Ross goes on to say, we have to treat these games as learning experiences now we're in the Champions League. It's kind of what Giovanni Van Bronckhorst was saying, but again, people are frustrated because they want to compete, particularly when you've done so well in the Europa League for a number of years up to this point. Stephen says we were poor in possession. I think it's hard to disagree with that, Stephen. We need to have a real goal next week. I thought Rangers at points did try to have a goal without the ball, but they were played through so easily, and that meant that they were left kind of 4v4 at the back, and there was a lot of precarious positions that they were left in. I'm just going to read out a few of the quotes that the manager said, particularly about Malik Tillman. That was something that seemed to be of interest after the game. I said, do you feel you got the best out of Malik Tillman on the right? And the manager said, we played him on the right. It's the same role he played against PSV. He's used to that role. It's always hard to pick players after a game and talk about personal performances, but it's a team effort. We have to act like a team and move like a team. We did that much better in the second half. We made opportunities to go forward. You can see that the gap is obvious looking at the squads that are there, but we are competing against one of the best sides in Europe. it doesn't mean we have to lose the game. That's obviously a key point. Wants to compete, even though there is an obvious gap in the quality between the two sides. No one's going to deny that. It's down to experience, he said when he was asked about why his side struggled to keep the ball. We did better than the first game, but as a level, you have to think quicker, pass quicker, move quicker. In the first half, there were many moments where we won the ball but had a sloppy pass, or our first touch wasn't good. Some of the things that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst was saying after the game, you can watch that on our YouTube channel, I'm sure, very, very soon. There's some more praise from McGregor here from Ross. Why? 1 second, let me just get down here to Ian, who's some similar sentiments for McGregor and goals. I actually thought Kent, in the first half, I thought he was the only Rangers player who looked kind of assured on the ball, and let me just explain that. I don't think he did much on it, but I don't think he had much support around him. As I said, I don't think Tillman was great. Morelos was kind of crowded out of the game, and for me, Kent did have a few moments where you could see his quality. But wide left, I thought you see when Matondo came on, he looked really promising there. And again, this persistent issue of, I was thinking at the end of the game, does Giovanni Van Bronckhorst know his best team? You think of the number of midfield partners that John Lundstrom's had, the number of players that have played on the right. And I think the answer probably at the moment, the goalkeeper position is still no, and that's somewhat of an issue at this stage of the season. But I do think that Kent kind of faded as the game went on. There was one moment in the second half where I don't think he was helped by Malik Tillman's run. They probably should have done better. Billy saying we were better after the subs. I think that's true, Billy. As I say, Sakala offered something a little bit different, a bit of pace on the right, energy off the ball. Matondo, as we just spoken about, a couple of good moments from him down the left. You could see his pace as well. And Kamara in the middle of the park, I just thought you seen his kind of dynamism, and Liverpool's athleticism was so impressive today. And Kamara, as a 25-year-old, I thought you could see that energy that he had, that pace in the middle, and then a few of the duels that he had. You're looking at players today like Thiago, seeing them up close, and you think of someone like Morelos, who's so combative and so strong. And honestly, all these Liverpool players just were so aggressive and so athletic, and made it so difficult for Rangers, because whenever they had a period of possession, Liverpool just got them exactly where they wanted to win the ball back. And that's why I think Rangers weren't able to create any meaningful chances until the game had kind of died a death. Let's just get through a couple more comments before my laptop dies with this water damage. Obviously, the other main comment from Van Bronckhorst is that for his side to be playing Champions League, probably won't be Champions League, Europa League football at this rate, because Napoli went and beat Ajax 6-1, which just shows the level of team you're up against in this competition. They need to obviously kind of get something over the next couple of games. When Ajax come to Ibrox, because of the head-to-head, the way it works out, Rangers I think would then need to go and beat Ajax 5-0, which seems unlikely on the best of days, and that's important. I think the manager seems to be sure that his team had improved from the first game, but that needs to be backed up by results. And tonight, I think there are positives. Obviously, it has to be caveated with the fact that Liverpool are such a strong team, a world-class team who were really good tonight. There was lots of talk about will from us. We were speaking about it just before the game. Liverpool have dropped points in 5 of 7 league games. Would have been 6 if not for a late winner against Newcastle. Are you catching them at a right time? I think tonight, epitomised by Alexander-Arnold scoring that early free kick. They were a bit of a wounded animal, ready to come out and put on an aggressive showing, and it was ultimately too much for Rangers, who, although they were overpowered by a better and stronger team, I don't think they were able to give the best account of themselves. Right, we'll leave it there. We're going to go into greater detail, myself and Johnny, tomorrow morning, so you can join us there. Remember, go and subscribe to the website. You can read all our analysis from the game. We'll be live, as I say, tomorrow morning at 9:30. Thanks very much for joining me and your comments, and we'll speak to you tomorrow at 9:30.